Hey, and welcome to another episode of the Jack Bosch Show. Today we're going to do a little bit something different. Instead of having a guest, we're going to let you participate in part of our last live event. In that last live event, I pulled up the curtains and shared with you a few strategies where you can get deals, land deals like this without even sending direct mail. So number one, I'm going to share with you a strategy of how to predict the growth of an area without actually having to have a crystal ball, or literally, it is like your crystal ball, but it's a 100% reliable. Number two is two strategies on how to actually find deals very, very quickly and also sell them very, very quickly. So go check it out right now. It's gonna start right here. And make sure, as always, afterwards, leave us that 5-star review, give us that thumbs up, and get a sneak preview into our Land Profit live event. All right, enjoy. They already broken ground on enough houses for 300,000 people over there. If you buy 40 acres there right now, and you might get 40 acres for, I don't know, $100,000, that 40 acres in 20 years from now will be worth a guaranteed $20 million. Who would like to know exactly where to go and buy land in the path of growth? Who would like to know that? Anyone? All right, so this is a little sneak preview into what we actually teach in our coaching sessions. So here's a picture that I want to share with you. This picture actually shows particularly look at the right side of it. This picture shows an area of Phoenix, Arizona, and I just pulled it up for Phoenix, but this map exists for every single greater metro area. So what you see here is a mountain area, right? You see there a mountain area right there. And to the left of the mountain area, it looks like that's a city, right? Well, let me quickly share with you how this really looks like. This area that I just shared with you, this area, that kind of area here where that mountain is, what happens to the area to the left of that that looked like a city? Well, what's that? What's there? Absolutely nothing. So what happens over here? Did they lie to us? Did they lie to us with this map here? Right, this is what I see, by the way. But did they lie to us? No, they didn't lie to us. But exactly, the answer is, this is the future 20 to 30 year city expansion plan of the metro area of Phoenix. So this map shows us exactly where the city of, or the greater metro area of the Phoenix greater metro area will grow to. Right now the growth is all the way to here. Let's look at this side of the mountain. This side of the mountain is like fully developed. There's lots of actually houses. Well, there's some farmland here too, but there's lots of development over here. Right? There's an airport, there's actually an Air Force base. There's lots of development over here. You see this? All the gray area is all developed. But then you have the mountain, and to the west of the mountain, there's absolutely nothing. So with that said, if over the next 20 years, and I happen to know because I live in the Phoenix area, they're already broken ground on enough houses for 300,000 people over there. Right? Another company like Bill Gates is building, I think, a smart city somewhere there, or a company that Bill Gates invested in, is building a smart city somewhere over here. So there's already broken ground on some of this development, and you actually can see some of that over here. If you look at it, there's some developments that are already happening over here. Right? Now there's just early on, but in the next 20 years, all of this is going to be built out. All of this area here is going to be built out. So do you guys think that today it would be a good idea to go right out here west of that White Tank Mountains and go and buy and potentially buy some land? And either for multiple purposes. Number one, get it cheap while you can and simply hold on to it. Because that land in the next 20 years, if you buy 40 acres there right now and you might get 40 acres for, I don't know, $100,000, that 40 acres in 20 years from now will be worth a guaranteed $20 million. So if you can wait 20 years, you know that you can have, a lot of that land there is going to be worth millions and millions and millions of dollars. So another thing though to do is, some of that land, that if it's worth 100 grand right now, go put it on a contract for 50 and then sell it. What do you think it would be a good idea to use this map in your marketing? Yeah. Heck yeah. Of course it would be a great idea, because when you do the marketing, you can say, hey guys, my lot is whatever it is. The lot that I'm selling is right over here, and or let's say like right over here, and this is the future plan of the city of Phoenix. So what you're buying right now is a lot that is smack in the middle of the future growth plan of the area, of the Phoenix area. And by the way, this is not just for Phoenix. Every metro area of the country has that. Like, because again, it's called the association, the local association of governments of Maricopa County in this case, the association of governments that produces that, because guess what? Every metro area consists out of a whole bunch of different towns, right? So this area, if you look at it, there you see there's lots of different things. There's Buckeye, there's Liberty, there's Goodyear, there's Tolson, there's Litchfield Park, there's Glendale, there's Peoria, there's El Mirage, there's Waddell, there's Surprise, there's Sunset City West. That's just the towns on this side of town. If I go over here, there's obviously the Phoenix, there's Scottsdale, there's Paradise Valley, where I live, there's where we live, actually, pluralis majestatis, as they say, right? And then there's Mesa, Gilbert, Glendale. All of these governments work together, and you guys see that on the other side here too, all the suburbs everywhere. All these governments work together to coordinate their city expansion plans. Because you don't even know, when you go from Phoenix to Tempe, you don't know. There's not like a border. There's not like the roads go here and all of a sudden, no, we decided to build the roads 20 feet further over. No, the roads go together. That requires for those cities and governments to coordinate, and they're doing that and creating that plan. So for example, if there's a street widening going on somewhere, you come out of your driveway, you go down the road, and all of a sudden, there's all these cones there, and for the next half a year, they're working on the street. They didn't wake up that morning and decide to work on that street. That was planned 10 years ago. Right? And then, of course, there's certain adjustments to the plans that are being made. When the recession hit in 2009, certain things got delayed. So it's not guaranteed that it's going to happen in 5 years or in 10 years or in 15 years, but it's pretty darn guaranteed that it will happen within a few years of wiggle room. So is that cool stuff? So if you want to know, Jack, where do I go to buy these properties? Where is the path of growth? Well, here's your answer. Like you go in Tampa, where's the path of growth in Tampa? Like a lot of it is north, right? Right? A lot of it is north in different kind of areas. Well, if I come in, and if I live in Arizona and I don't know, I can pull up that, I can ask the government, the local government, I can call the county planning and zoning division or so, or development division, ask them, hey, where do I get this map from? And then they'll point you to the right person, because it's paid by, this is again for the international people here, this is the difference in the United States. If it's paid with tax money, it's public information. Like, you have the right to ask for it. You have the right to get a copy for it, because your tax dollars paid for it. Right? So therefore, you can go get those things from it. I only have it for Phoenix, but you can obviously do that for anywhere in the country. Is that good stuff, guys? If you go on Zillow, and then we want to look for land, let's say that's been sold in the last 6 months, or let's wait 12 months. Land, one of the things is I can go remove boundaries. If I want to go look here, if I want to be in the path of growth, that's that same area I just looked at. Right? I can go see here, there's a bunch of land for sale, here's a bunch of land sold. So I can see that right here, there's a bunch of land sold. 1 acre, you see like 5 acres. So if I have a 5-acre parcel in this area, how long is it going to take me to find out what these properties are worth? Not a whole lot of time, right? Because if I can zoom in here, I can see that this 5-acre parcel sold for $40,000. This $40,000 acre sold for 40 acres sold for $135,000, and this other 5 acres sold for $47,000. So if I'm in the area here, in this kind of area here, where is it? In this kind of area over here, and I'm looking, and I'm having somebody offering me a 5-acre, somewhere here, somebody offering me a 5-acre parcel. What's my 5-acre parcel worth? Between $40,000 and $45,000. It took me all about 12 seconds to figure out what the value is of these kind of properties. So now how much do I offer on this deal? Let's offer $6,000 on them and then turn around and go sell it for $17,000, which to undercut the entire competition here, and boom, your property sells. Again, sometimes that stuff is not so complicated. Sometimes that can be done fairly quickly. Make sense? And let's talk about some more advanced strategies here. And one of them is like renegotiating deals for higher profits. Another one is how to do double offers. Anyone has heard about double offers? No? Okay, we'll talk about it. How about the clustering of deals, again, using blind offers? How about land splitting or parcel assembly? How about timber harvesting? Like, how about that? And how about land development? We're gonna, so let's go about that. So let's look at this is one of the deal from Christina. Is Christina still in the room? No, she was earlier. But anyway, Christina Wall's one of our master coaches. She posted that like, this is a deal from a while ago, but she's like, hey, I got 150 offers sent out, 35 letters, 2 cash deals heading to closing, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But the point is that really that one of this deal is like one lot I thought would never sell is going to close. This lot I had going back to the seller, and I had to go back to the seller and renegotiate the price. I had no activity on the lot for months. And that sometimes happens, guys. I'm not going to tell you that you sell every lot in 2 days or every lot in 2 weeks. Sometimes there are going to be lots that just sit a little bit. That's why it's important to actually crank up the volume. So if you have 10 deals out there, you sell 6 quickly, and 4 might sell a little bit slower. Or they have probate issues, which now you know how to solve. Right? So I asked the seller for, I had no activity for months, but the neighbor called and wanted to buy it at $20,000. Again, neighbors. We're going to talk about that tomorrow and how to sell these properties. So I asked, so my contract was for $18,000, and now she gets a $20,000 offer. Who is not excited about that? Yeah, I mean, because you put all this effort in, and you might be making $2,000, which, depending how you structure the exit, might even be cut down by some of the closing costs. So anyway, so it goes. So I asked the seller to drop the price down to $11,000, and they counted at 15. I said, okay, remember, no activity in this lot. So even though I could have made just $2,000, I took the chance, asked them to renegotiate. And then sometimes the properties we get have selling issues we don't see. But if you buy low enough, even renegotiate after learning issues, we can still make money. Originally, I was hoping to make $20,000 on this lot, but at the end of the day, she was able to do a $5,000 deal, double close, no money used. But one of the keys is also, and I asked her about that separately outside, and she said one of the keys that made this deal work is she also, on the selling side of things, she negotiated with the buyers, so like, you can buy it for $20,000, but you pay all the closing costs. So that it becomes a true $20,000 payment to her. And then on the buying side, it was $15,000. And since she basically then did a double closing, she was able to, in essence, she was able to move most of the closing costs on the buyers. And she has essentially made a true $5,000 on that deal. Right? So even look at those things. If you plan to do 100 deals in a year, and you can just simply shave off or add, like shave off costs, like in the closing costs and things like that, just $1,000 a deal. That's an extra $100,000 in your pocket. Right? If you can just learn some of these little things, it makes a big difference. Now let's talk about micro-targeting blind offers. Okay, we talked about it yesterday a little bit, but again, we talked about all kinds of stuff, so I think repetition is the mother of skill, so let's talk about it a little bit more. So take an area that you already know deals are happening in, and then set up, this is a little sneaky here, set up what's called basically a decoy listing. Basically, in a way, either, I'm not going to tell you to set up a fake listing, but perhaps you take a deal that you already sold, and you leave it up on the social media pages, and you leave it up on landwatch.com, and you leave it up on different places right now. So therefore, it's ideally a deal that's gotten a lot of traction. So what you use it as kind of like fishing line. So what happens is a lot of buyers are going to come and say like, hey, is this deal still available? I really love this deal. Is it available? And your answer says, no, it's no longer available. You obviously tell the truth. You don't sell a property twice, right? But you go tell the truth, it's like no longer available, but we are operating in this area. What exactly are you looking for? And have them tell you what they're looking for. Then ask them, how much are you looking to spend on a property like that? They tell you what you're spending. And then you go find a pocket of properties like that, and you target them with direct, blind offers straight to the seller, because you got your buyers already lined up. Is that a good strategy to get an extra few deals done? Yes. Well, right there. There we go. So do a micro-targeted blind offer campaign. Only pick 50 to 100 properties that fit these criteria. And then just offer $5,000, $10,000, $20,000 less than what the buyer is willing to buy them for, and immediately pass them on. Now let's talk about land arbitrage. Can you go what I just did? Can I go on Zillow? Like, let's go on Zillow right now, and let's go see. Like right here, like let me zoom out to what's for sale. And that's I can look at, you can get the newest, I can sort by newest, and obviously right now I see only the properties they're listed an hour ago, 23 hours ago. But if I go down, if I go down here, and if I go down here, where is this here? And I go like to page, back to the end of this kind of thing here, there's properties listed for 236 days, 238 days, 241 days, right? 247 days. What else do we have here? You guys can see that, right? 253, you go a little bit further, there's properties listed for 300 days, there's a lot of properties listed for even beyond that. And, I mean, let's look at that. Why is this property listed for almost a year? Because it's butt ugly. But not the property's butt ugly. The listing is butt ugly. And then on top of it, we look at that. How many people have actually seen this one? In 322 days, 37 people have seen this property, and only one of them is saved, and that's probably the owner. Right? That saved it. So the point is, would it be feasible to go to this person that has this property listed for 1 year, almost 1 year, has for sure not gotten a single inquiry about this property, has not gotten anyone to ask about this property, and let's assume $90,000 is the market value. I don't know exactly, but if the market value is $90,000, do you think it would be feasible to go to this guys and say, hey, how about we offer you 30 grand for the property or 35 grand for the property? Not everyone's going to take it, but if you find like 30 or 40 or 50 of them, and you just simply go to the realtors like, hey, I'm interested in making an offer, and I'll offer you like a third of market value for those things, are you going to get some hits? Yes. Ryan, let's give Ryan a microphone. Can we get Ryan a microphone in the back? As well as Aaron, you have done deals like that too. So let's actually bring you guys up, both of you. Come up to the front of the stage for a moment. And let's give those guys a quick round of applause here. All right, so come up here for a second. So you guys have almost like perfected that method and have done a bunch of deals with that, right? Tell us a little bit, how does that work?
So basically what we do is we take a look at all of the old listings and we find certain areas where it feels like it's a hyper-growth area, and we know that the property is going to sell. It's going to sell fast, usually within 45 days. So, you know, most realtors, if they're going to sell a property, they try to force you into 30 days or less, right? 45 days is a little bit of a stretch, sometimes 60, but they'll do it. So you just basically just give them an offer. So Aaron and I talked like 3 days ago, and I said, hey, you know, the whole time here, I'm going to make offers. So just so you guys know, I started yesterday in the morning. I already got 2 offers accepted today.
There we go. Boom. Right there, while we're in the room, in the back room, they're proving the concept that this absolutely works.
I've been doing it for years. I probably buy 4 or 5 properties a year, and it's something I do for fun. I've never really kept track of how many offers it takes to get them accepted, but whenever I'm at the airport, I'm at doctor's office or whatever, I sit there with my laptop, I look at areas where properties are selling in less than, 30 days, like proven sales, and I'll take those same areas and make offers right there. So if properties are selling for $50,000 with, 2 to 4 weeks, because when you look on a listing, you could look at the history where it's the listing versus pending. And if I can see 3 or 4 sales, or maybe 8 sales, and they're all under 30 days, I'm going to take the rest of that area and I'm going to send out offers. And the cool thing is with Ryan, I was able to use the numbers because I never knew how many numbers, but under the $30,000 range, we're getting 1 offer accepted for every 100 to 150 offers that we send out. And we send them out by text message. I actually want to test it even more and actually send an actual blind offer, because sometimes the realtors don't send the offer to the seller.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you get more accepted if you send blind offers.
So maybe.
But is that cool, guys? Yeah. All right, wonderful. So thank you very much. I just wanted to. Okay, go ahead, Aaron. Yeah.
And then starting next week, I'm going to do a 30-day challenge to the coaching students on high price offers to realtors. I want to do a 30-day challenge, and I'm going to do it on a Monday night call. So it's going to be kind of interesting to see, what people get accepted on high price properties. I'm just kind of curious. I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. So great. Thank you very much, guys. Thanks a lot. So how about another way? A way that recently we just started playing with, and a couple of our students are starting doing that, and they and we're starting to play with that too. And that is the following: are there house flippers out there, house wholesalers out there that get land leads and don't have a clue what to do with them? Yes. Now, if you're in the room here, you know what to do with them now. So you're not going to, but there is hundreds of thousands or tens of thousands of house wholesalers out there that don't have the first clue what to do with their land listings. So call them. Call them. Go attend your local REIA meeting and say like, hey, if you're a house wholesaler and you get land leads, send them my way. Send them my way. Ask what they're doing them. Take them off their hands. Pay them a referral fee if you do the deal. Right? A friend of mine just did a deal like that, this exact method, got a $75,000 profit. Not bad. Also, a lot of these leads are actually infill lots, which are usually harder to get. The infill lot, that's a real cool trick. So let's look at some of these numbers of what that actually leads to. Let's do an example of, the first thing is like here, so by now you guys know better. But sometimes when I go some places and I talk about getting $400 a month in seller financing, the people like $400 a month is not sexy. Like, who thinks that? Great, no hand is up, good. Who thinks $400 a month is sexy? Yeah. Yes, give me a heck yes. So look at that. Well, the way Michelle and I looked at that when we started out is we literally we looked at that and said like, hey, I'm getting $400 a month. Look at that, $400 a month is my car payment. Wow, this person that's paying me right now is now paying for my car payment. And then the next payment that came in, wow, that's my electricity bill. Right, great, now my car payment and my electricity bill is taken care of. The next one is like, oh wow, my property taxes are being paid off. Wow, my gas bill is being paid off. And so on and so forth. And soon enough, I ran out of bills that I got excited about paying, because all of a sudden after like whatever, the number of deals, like say if you do a deal a month, after 12 deals, you have $4,800 a month. That is almost $56,000 a year. For many people, $4,800 a month already pays most of their fixed expenses. Right? Most of their fixed expenses. Perhaps not all, but at least, but most of them. So now after you hit that goal of hitting your fixed expenses, you're like when Robert Kiyosaki again, his Rich Dad game and in the cash flow game says, you're financially independent. You're financially independent when your passive income exceeds your active income. And this actually income is truly passive income, because you don't have to fix toilets, you don't have to fix plumbing, you don't have to fix roofs, because there are none of them on the property. It's just land. And you actually the bank, so you're receiving that payment. So you work for fun, and every other deal now, it's just either luxury money or money you can use to reinvest into additional deals. You can reinvest into some of these seller financing deals, like a gentleman over there that just supplemented one of his deals with $15,000 that he's going to have back in 5 months from now, et cetera, et cetera. Or you can put it off on the sideline and start investing it into those forever cash assets. So the numbers add up very, very quickly, by the way, because one of what we forget in this environment environment is that once you have a seller financing deal in place, that, let's say even at $200 a month, the next one is not just $200. Now you have $400. Now we have $600. Now you have $800 because they keep coming in. It's not just being paid one time. So let's look at that spreadsheet for a moment, and just basically says if you just do a deal 1 month and the deal looks like that, that you the low end kind of property like Mike talked about earlier, that those are the great deals to sell. Let's say you do a deal that you buy it for $1,000, you sell it for $10,000, you get a down payment of $1,000. So they're all cost neutral to you. Is everyone like that, ultimately going to be like that? No. Sometimes you get $2,000 down, sometimes you get $500 down. But if you just average it out and you get what you pay for it back as a down payment or close to it, then here's how it's going to look like. Your monthly payment and your monthly payment goes up from $200 to $400 to $600 to $800 to $1,000 to $1,200. And then after a year, after 1 year, you have $2,400 a month coming in. Well, that might be exciting or might not be exciting, depending on what you are, what you do yet, what you do. Your goal was $2,500, right? So right there, 1 year of that, and you're done. You can quit your job at that point, right? If you do this for 2 years, you're at $4,800. Great. However, again, we talked about the 4 C's. And after doing this few times, who believes that you're going to eventually upgrade to a little bit higher priced properties? Yes? Yes, of course. So let's do that same example, or also in volume. If you do this in volume a little bit more, if you do 3 deals a month, then it goes from $200 to $600 to $1,200 to $1,800 to $2,400. It goes very, very quickly up. So within 1 year, you can build this to $6,600, and within 2 years, you can build this to $13,800 a month. Right? Now, at the same time, let's do the same thing with a little bit higher priced properties, where you say you buy them for $3,000, sell them for $30,000, and you get the same $3,000 down. It doesn't really matter what you buy them for, but in this case, it's $30,000, and you get $400 a month. Let's do that same example, and let's say you ramp it up. Month 1, you do 1 deal. Month 2, you do 2 deals. Month 3, you do 3 deals, and then you keep it at 3 deals a month, which you can do with probably 1 virtual assistant helping you in your business. Now, in this case, it goes from $400 to $1,200 to $2,400. In 1 year, it can go to $13,200. In 2 years, it goes to $27,000. But at this point, remember what we talked about, the note a lot? That is what they still owe you, what they haven't paid off. That's actually tracked on the second to right column over here. It's tracked over here. So the first note is you buy it for $3,000, sell it for $30,000, get a $3,000 down payment, get $400 a month. But the note value is $27,000. That's what they still owe you. Well, after 2 months, after the second month, you do 2 deals. Now you add an extra $57,000 to that. You now have $81,000 worth of notes. After 1 year, you have $800,000 worth of notes. And after somewhere about 14 to 15 months, you're cracking the $1 million mark with your note volume. Anyone here in the room has $1 million of notes already built up? Like, I'm pretty sure there's a few people, right? There's somebody says they're doing a lot of deals with seller financing, and there's quite a few heavy hitters in the room here. So, like, if you do this for a few years, you look at what your monthly payment looks like if you do this at that volume. And now, again, this is not a promise that you're going to do that, but I know some of our students are doing exactly this. Some of our community members, our coaching members, are on track for these kind of numbers. Right? That within 1 year, you end up at $13,200. At 2 years, you're at $27,000. 3 years at $42,000. And 5 years, you're at $70,000. Heck, as a matter of fact, Michelle and I have built this, and actually faster than that. And if you look at that, what is the note value? You're literally building multi-million dollars worth of notes. So now you want to buy that beautiful house, you want to buy that retirement home, you want to buy that car, you want to place that investment into something else, you can simply take some of these notes, sell them, and simply get that piece. Is anyone excited about that stuff? Yes, this is like really, you can do really anything with land that you can do with houses, just simpler. What you need to do is you need to get in line and stand in line.